A very good morning and salam birwana to Doctor and our panels. We're from SKQS 1013, Group AI, Group 2. Today we will discuss a forum about river pollutions before and during movement control order, which is MCO. My name is Siti Nur Shafika. My number matrix is 293442 and I will be your moderator for our session today. Today's topic, we're going to discuss about river pollutions during MCO. So first at all, let's me introduce our panels for today. Panel 1.
Hello, my name is Anna Angwani with number matrix 285042. I'm the panel 1 for today.
For panel 2.
Hi, my name is Lim Zixing, matric number 293975. I'm the panel 2 for today.
And lastly, for panel 3.
Hi, I'm panel 3. My name is Position and my matric number is 294080.
Thank you for the introductions. Before we start, let me tell you a little bit of river pollutions. River pollution is a type of water pollution where the water within the river is contaminated. The water usually becomes contaminated due to the result of human activities. The water is often contaminated with the chemicals and microorganisms. In 2016 and 2017, it was shown that the most of Malaysia river in the index class 2 and class 3. This is because MCO has restricted business activities, human movement as well as activities. The implementation of MCO turned out to be a blessing in a disgust for the environment. The decline in humans and industrial activities has made the rivers cleaner than before. The quality of river water has a significant impact on human life. Humans use rivers for irrigation in agriculture, daily necessities, and others. Without wasting time, let's start with the panel 1. Can you explain why you think that the movement control order influenced the river water quality?
Sure. The article described the river water quality before and during the movement control order, MCO. Various causes of water pollution in all states in Malaysia before the MCO, and the major cities and the water quality index during the MCO. Before the MCO, major cities had been established and flourished along rivers. Major river management issues are linked to water quality. According to the article, there are only 47% of the river was classified as clean and the rest were slightly polluted. The percentage of clean river was always declined and started showing recovery during the MCO. Since the implementation of MCO, it has contributed to the recovery of many rivers in Malaysia, in which most economic sector activities such as factories and industrial plant were under control and stop operation.
All right. Thank you for your explanations about the problems of the study by panel 1. So let's go to the panel 2. Can you explain what is the purpose of the studies?
Yes, the purpose of this study is to investigate the effects of river water quality on human, environment, and economy before the MCO and the improvement phase of the river during the MCO. From this study, we can see that the rivers during the MCO are clearer than before the MCO, as the decline in human and industrial activities. It will prove that human and industrial activity has polluted the rivers because human and industrial wastewater discharge into the river.
How about panel 3? Based on the study, can you explain more about one of the issues happening in Malaysia?
Sure. I think that pollutant levels in wastewater discharges from commercial and industrial sources have an impact on the quality of receiving waters. Rivers used by humanity for recreation, transportation, and everyday needs like drinking water. However, river water pollution is a serious issue in Malaysia because of urbanization and modernization, which have a negative effect on the sustainability of water resources.
May I know what is your populations or sample to investigate the problem?
Sure, the article is using population to study. It is because a population is the complete set of groups of individuals, whether the group comprises a nation or a group of people with common characteristics. However, a sample refers to a smaller and manageable version of a larger group. It is a subset containing the characteristic of a larger population. Thus, there is no doubt that this article is using population to study. To prove my point, we can see that the data of this article covers all the states in Malaysia and also all the river in the state. For instance, we can see the figure 2 in this article, which is a graph bar about the river water quality by states from 2008 until 2017. It contains all states in Malaysia to study the river water quality, which is clean, slightly polluted, or polluted. Therefore, from this fact, we can infer that this article is using population to study.
Panel 2 and Panel 3 agree with the Panel 1 statement?
Yes, I agree with panel 2 opinions.
Yes, I also agree that population is using in this article.
Okay, so let's go to the next questions. Can you define the type of data that used in the article to investigate the problem?
Yes, the type of data used in this article is secondary data. Secondary data is pre-existing data and obtained from material published by the governmental, industrial, or individual sources. The source of data for this article are obtained from the materials published by the Department of Environment, DOE, and newspaper. For example, the key data obtained from 2008 until 2017 from DOE used to analyze the state of river water quality prior to the implementations of the Movement Control Order, MCO. In addition, the article from the newspapers were also used in the preparations of the portions of river water quality condition during the implementations of the MCO in Malaysia.
Thank you, Panel 2. Let us continue this forum with the variables and scales of measurements from this article. Panel 3, can you explain more about the definition of variable and also scale of measurement?
Sure. Thank you for giving me a chance to talk more about it. Before we study the variables that appear in the article, we need to learn about what is variable. In statistics, a variable is a characteristic of interest that we measure, record, and analyze. So next, scales of measurement are the methods used to define and group variables and numbers. Each scale of measurement has unique characteristics that detect whether or not specific statistical analyses are appropriate to use. There are 4 types of measurement, which are nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio.
Alright, I see. Panel 2, can you explain about what are the variables that appears in this article? Can you come together with the scales of measurement?
Yes, sure. Now I will explain the first variables that appear in our articles. The first variable that appear is the river water quality before the MCO. This article collected the data released by DOE at 2017 to analyze the state of river water quality from 2008 to 2017. The river water quality has been divided into 3 categories of river water quality, which are clean, slightly polluted, and polluted. The scales of measurements for this variable is interval scales. Why I think it's interval is because the scale where the distance between percentage of clean river water quality are meaningful. Based on the figure 1 in article, we know that the clearness river water quality status is as year 2011, which has 59% clean, while the most polluted river water quality status is at year 2010, which has 13% polluted.
Thanks for your explanation, panel 2. How about panel 1? Do you have C, another variable else? Please explain more about it.
Yes, I have seen another variable. Now I will explain about second variable. Well, according to the article, the statistics shows that the major causes of pollution to all 52 rivers are related to anthropogenic activities. The main pollution loads were from five main sources, namely manufacturing industry, agriculture-based industry, sewage treatment plant, piggery and wet market from the report released by the DOE in 2018. There are three types of pollution loads from the five main resources, which are biochemical oxygen demand, suspended solid loads, and ammoniacal nitrogen loads. From this variable, we can see that the scale of measurement used in the variable is nominal. The reason why I choose nominal is because the causes of river pollution are considered qualitative variables and cannot be ranked or in order. Based on figure 3, the anthropogenic activities that release the most pollution into river is piggery, followed by the sewage treatment plant and agricultural-based industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, panel 1. Does anyone else have some addition for variables of this article?
Well, for my opinions, I think that still have another one variables in this article, which is water quality index. Based on the article, the water quality index has been classified by the DOE into 5 classifications, which are class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, and class 5. This article compares the WQI before and during the MCO and state the change into 3 situations, which is improvement in WQI, no apparent change in WQI, and slightly decline in WQI. From the calculations, we know that 8 of 29 water monitoring stations improved in water quality. 8 did not show any apparent change, and another 13 stations marked a slight decline in water quality. For the scale of measurement for this variable, I think will be ratio scale because the data between different classes is meaningful and it can show different status of river water quality in each class. From the data, it shows that the 5 unit for those classifications is MGL. It can be measured to a value. Based on table 1, we can see that the biochemical oxygen demand from class 1 is less than 1 mgl, class 2 is 1 to 3 mgl, class 3 is 3 to 6 mgl, class 4 is 6 to 12 mgl, and for class 5 is more than 12 mgl. Therefore, for my explanation, that we can prove that the scale of measurement for this variable is ratio scale.
Panel 3, do you agree with the panel 2 statements about the scales of measurement?
Sorry for saying this, but I disagree with panel 2, which I think that the scale of measurement for this variable should be interval scale. It is because pressure scale has a feature of absolute zero. However, the unit used for those parameters is mgl, which cannot reach absolute zero. For example, we can take a look for table 1. The ammoniacal nitrogen that is less than 0.1 mgl in class 1, 0.1 to 0.3 mgl in class 2, 0.3 to 0.9 mgl in class 3, while 0.9 to 2.0 mgl in class 4, while class 5 is more than 2.7 mgl. So therefore, it proved that the water quality index in unit mgl cannot reach absolute zero. So the scale of measurement should be interval but not ratio. I infer that is interval because in interval scales, numbers from the continuum and provide information about the amount of difference. But the scale lacks a true zero. From this information, we can see that WQI cannot reach absolute zero. So I infer that it is interval scales. We can see that from table 1, all the data we can see lacks a true zero. So I think that the scale measurement of this variable should be interval scales.
I think panel 1 and panel 2 also will agree with the panel 3 statement. After I listen to our panel discussion, awareness should be created among people that water is a scarce of resource and consumptions or ingestions of contaminated water that can be lead to a waterborne disease which directly affect the health of the human body. Well, we have reached the end of our discussion today. Thank you to our parents for being willing to give exposure about the state of river water quality before and during MCO. Hopefully, the knowledge given can give us a notice about how important it is if our rivers are clean as they were during the MCO. So that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.